Welcome back to Marbella Now. My name is Nicole King, and this is Boy.
Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day. Halfway twisted.
How wonderful to be once again in the Foreigners Department here in the Palacio de Congresos, the exhibition centre in Marbella. This space is for all the foreigners who need help, want to ask questions. If you have to give a talk or something, check it out. Do come and meet the people at the Foreigners Department because they really do want to help us. We've got a fabulous programme lined up, great guests, so let's get started.
Hey, hey.
It's a pleasure to welcome as my first guest this week, Pancho Campo, and he comes from the American College in Spain, our CIT Marbella Guest of the Week. If you've not heard of CIT Marbella, you've obviously never watched the show because they are an amazing business networking association, grouping over 80 different professions, more than 500 companies, and very influential in the Spanish world with a lot of contacts, which is very interesting. So whether you're a small company or a large company, it's definitely worth checking out. Pancho, good morning.
Good morning. Long
How
time.
lovely to see. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. But I see that you're doing well. The college is going well, very busy. Tell us a bit about the American College in Spain for those that haven't heard of it.
Well, the American College in Spain was the first center for American education of the Costa del Sol. We started 10 years ago, and we have two very distinctive programs. One is a high school, fully accredited by the American authorities through the University of Missouri.
That's new, isn't it, the high school? That's an addition a few years ago.
We started about 5 years ago with the college. And the program that we brought us to Marbella is the 2+2, what we call it. It's a university program by which the kids enroll in an American university. They complete the first 2 years in Marbella, and then they have to transfer to different universities around the USA from where they will get the degree. We don't issue degrees. The degrees are issued high school by Mizzou Academy, which belongs to the University of Missouri, and the university degree comes from the university where you finish the last 2 years. For example, my daughter started with us. She did the high school. She went on to complete the 2 years of college, and then she transferred to Florida International University. She got a degree in hospitality management, and now she's got a great job with Marriott Hotels. Proud daddy.
Proud daddy, proud daddy. The only negative I see there is preparing them to leave. That's the only thing that she's making her life in the States and you guys are here. But everything else sounds wonderful.
But I think it's good that kids leave home, leave the nest for a while, because that will give them a different experience, will expose them to the real world. And some of these kids are now ready to leave as soon as they finish high school. That's why I think the program is very interesting. We adapt into the American education system. They learn about the American culture, the American way of living, and then when they go, they're not anymore 17, 18, 19. They're almost 20 years when they go to America. So they're
it's
more mature.
Fabulous. I sent my kids to the States for the same reason. And they grew up in Madrid, which is more of a real world than, say, Marbella, which isn't, you don't get a real slice of life here necessarily.
It's a different life.
The only thing is I'm just delighted my daughter didn't meet the man of her life there. That she did go, they got the experience, but then they came back again.
Yeah.
But it's fundamental to see other things. The American education system is very good in the sense of it encourages the kids to look at everything and then specialize.
It's more about thinking, rationale, than just memorizing things. And if we look at the statistics, the majority of the universities that are in the top 100 list of the best colleges in the world, it's dominated by the US. I mean, the first three, it's American universities, and unfortunately the Spanish educational system didn't come out very well in that last report. But we invite people to come and visit us. We are close to Puerto Banús, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here, because we are starting a new program open to the general public, which is a series of conferences and speeches by very relevant members of the community. Every month we'll have a guest speaker, and it gives me a great pleasure to bring as our first guest a professional skydiver. He has the world record of landing with the smallest parachute ever, and he has 4 Guinness records, world Guinness records.
Wow, we had a young lady on the show last week who's trying to get the Guinness World Record for the longest interview session ever. So she's going to do like 55 hours
Oh my God.
non-stop of doing interviews. You should go along and be interviewed. That's a good opportunity for you to share the information. That is fascinating. So these are going to be every single month. And how
Every
does the
single
public
month.
get involved?
People can go to the website of the American College, americancollegespain.com, and it's free of charge by invitation. We are a very small college, so our capacity is only 50 people listening to these speakers. To just send an email, request an invitation. And this month is on the 18th of March at 6:30 p.m. During the day, these guys, they do speeches for our students. And this month the speech is about how to face your fears. And going back to our guest speaker, his name is Ernesto Gainza, he thinks that fear is what stops us from accomplishing great things. So here is a guy that jumps from planes up, 5,000 meters high. He's one of the few wingsuiters, those guys that wear the suit that looks like a squirrel, and flying very close to the mountains. He jumps from buildings and bridges, but his most amazing record is landing the smallest parachute ever in Dubai. And I'm working together with him because I'm also a skydiver. He's my coach.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And next week, before coming to Marbella, we're going to Seville, because Seville is one of the best skydiving centers. We call them drop zones. And I'm going to complete my 200 jumps. And I will get my C license, which qualifies me as an expert skydiver.
That is just awesome. Congratulations.
It is amazing.
So you've already done 199 jumps.
I've done 186, and in 3 days next week we're going to complete the 14 that I need to have the 200, which is like a big limit, and also allows you to jump in a lot of places where if you don't have those 200, you cannot go there, like Cancun, some places in Dubai, some places in Switzerland. You have to have the experience of 200 jumps and the license.
What was the first jump like?
Scary. It's, skydiving is a real interesting confrontation with fear, because you go on the plane and you're going to jump with 2 coaches holding you, from the arm and the leg, one on each side. But the first thing that comes to your mind is when they open the door at 5,000 meters and you're flying with a plane with a door open. Then when you...
Yeah, that in itself is just
That is just
surreal.
scary. That's surreal. And usually people jump in tandems. So you got a coach, very, very specialized, an expert coach, holding you, and he does all the work. I didn't do that. I went straight into the course to get my license. You jump 5,000 meters up high, you jump off the plane, they're holding you, but then at one point when you're supposed to open the parachute, they let you go. So you have to open the parachute and land completely on your own. And
Well, you must do practicing of how to land and things somewhere beforehand, no?
They give you all the theory, they put on your rig, they show you how to handle the toggles and the brakes, but the first jump you land on your own. And most accidents happen at landing. I have had two accidents landing. I'm quite confident, flying up there and flying my canopy, as we call it, my parachute. I'm also very confident. It's just the last 3 seconds when I have to touch the ground.
You just have to literally, do
Yeah.
you get your feet running or something to get the speed? I mean, what?
You brake, so the parachute goes from going straight down and then goes horizontal, perpendicular to the floor. And then at one point, you got to pull the brakes down. And that slows down and you can have a really nice soft landing. But if you misjudge the altitude, that's when the problem happens.
Oh.
And I had an accident where I broke one of my vertebrae. It was a pretty rough landing.
Oh, it sounds like a pretty rough landing. Well,
Yeah.
you are very brave. I know you did diving, but I didn't
still
know that
do,
you
I still
also
do.
were going up and doing that's interesting.
Yeah, I like extreme sports, and that's, one of the things that it's mostly his speech, but I also participate in the speech. How do we confront fear when you go scuba diving 60 meters below, or when you go and jump from planes, or when
Or
we
you go into an exam room, because at the end of the day, those can be daunting too.
That's why, we have lots of students that are very good, but at the moment of the exam, they collapse because fear is stronger than the knowledge that we have given them. There's so many cases of athletes, tennis players, that they're great in training, but then when they start competing, they don't get the results that they're expected. People that, in public speaking is a biggie. A lot of business people, when they have to stand in front of an audience, they just collapse and they don't deliver. Actually, Ernesto, he told me, the first time I had to do a TED talk, I was more afraid than when I had to jump from the plane at 5,000 meters.
I suppose it all depends on your own personal makeup. Some people like extreme sports, but then talking in public is more scary.
But
we're all different.
It's funny because fear and stress are the biggest problems of our modern society, but nobody teaches you at school or university or even in the corporate world. Nobody teaches you how to handle those problems. And that's one of the things that, he's going to retire in a couple of years, and that's one of the things that he wants to contribute. Show young people especially, or entrepreneurs, how to confront your fears so you can perform better and be happier, actually.
No, without a doubt. I know that with everything in life, taking that first step, the fear of what will happen if you fail, if it goes wrong, if people laugh, and then there could be a million reasons why we have fear to make those steps. But it is. I like, they say, fear, false expectations appearing real, because it doesn't exist. Yeah. We're worried about things that haven't happened or may never happen.
It's funny because when you are at the door of the plane, it's a state of maximum fear. As soon as you jump, it's like fear goes away.
Pure adrenaline, no?
I don't know if it's adrenaline. Ernesto has jumped with Will Smith, and Will Smith has developed a complete speech about his experience in skydiving and how that helped him confront fear. And he said, God puts the most beautiful things beyond fear. And that is when people ask me, why do you skydive? Because of that. Because when you go past that element of fear, you have such sense of enjoyment and accomplishment that makes you feel really good.
Well, I think I will face my fears in a completely different way. But the talk does sound very interesting, and to meet Ernesto. And that's on the 18th of March at the American College in Spain, which is by the roundabout by Puerta Banús, opposite Puerta Banús, which is opposite Puerto Banús.
Yeah, that's right.
At
6:30 p.m. It's by invitation only. You don't have to pay. We only ask you to send an email confirming that you're going to go. And if you do confirm, please go, because
Yeah, otherwise somebody else doesn't get a chance to go. You're taking the space.
And the second speech will be on April 24. We have a scientist very well known in Spain called Fernando Valladares. He's an expert in climate change, sustainability. He advises the government, and he's just published his first book. So he's coming to Marbella to make a speech about environmental issues, to present his book, and also to sign books for those who want to buy it.
Wonderful. This is going to be in English?
This is going to be both English and Spanish.
English and Spanish. Yeah. Okay, so
yeah.
that makes it easier. A lot of people can come. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Pancho. It sounds a lot of fun. I will see you on the 18th of March in the American College in Spain, in Marbella.
Hey, hey.
Hi guys, Ross here from Hoganstown. Proud to be a member of the Zero Hero campaign. And we recommend everybody, nobody drives drinking, everybody who drives a car doesn't have any alcohol in their system, and we're proud to sponsor the Zero Hero program.
You've been out of shape and you feel like you've missed it. You dropped out the
Zero Heroes.
Welcome to Vigo Banús. Zero Hero, welcome to Belmari.
Hey, hey, it's a brand new. Hey, hey.
I'm delighted to welcome to the programme now my hairdresser. His name is Cy Lawrence, and not only is he a hairdresser and a colourist, he's also a hair replacement specialist, but without surgery. And this is interesting because also joining us in today's programme is Carlos Caballero of Inspiria, and they're also professionals in giving you hair if you don't have it. But the way Simon does it is completely non-invasive, and he makes hair pieces and all kinds of things, which is very important, isn't it, Simon? Good morning, hello.
Good morning.
Well, good morning,
Nicole.
good afternoon, good evening.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, it's extremely important to someone's morale, self of well-being, confidence in every single way, how they can then approach people, how they can act in life, and how they can be within themselves.
I was always overwhelmed with my hair as a child, not only because there was no conditioner
Sure.
to help brush it through,
Sure.
but the fact that they have so much hair and being curly, and people would stop in the street to talk about my hair, and it was always very uncomfortable. And then I go to hairdressers and they're like, oh, I should charge you more. And I was
Crazy.
always very embarrassed about my hair until my friend Giovanna looked at me one day and she said, would you rather be me or you? And for the first time I
Correct.
actually looked and saw that she had very little hair. I hadn't noticed. And then from that moment on, I decided to embrace my hair.
Absolutely.
But I do know that even in Marbella now, it's basically become my logo. People see my hair and they know it's me.
it
So if
is
you don't
you.
have any, particularly for a woman, that
Yeah.
must just be devastating.
Well, it's very, very interesting what you just said without realising. I worked for Vidal Sassoon for many, many years, and I was trained by them in Manchester and in Knightsbridge as a young lad. And the ethos, which I still do today in my hairdressing, is how the hair wants to fall naturally. You create a hairstyle within how it falls. Because quite obviously, if you're not forcing the hair, let's say some hairdressers, they blow dry and they back comb, they back brush, they're trying to make the hair do something it does not want to do, number one. But number two, how many times does a lady or a gentleman go to a hairdresser and they can do all things with their hair, styling equipment, with their gels, with the blow dry, you name it. The client goes home, a couple of days later it needs shampooing and styling, and she hasn't got a clue what to do. So we created at Vidal Sassoon a system, styles, whereby if the hair wants to wave or curl or straight, or it moves left to right, work a style within how the hair wants to fall. One, that will fall very naturally for the client, and two, it makes it so easy for the client to look after in between haircuts. And that's always been the ethos of my work. Not the ethos, unfortunately, of the majority of old school hairdressers today. That's why you have all these straightening irons, curling tongs, etc.
They've damaged the hair one, would it?
They-
Or nowadays, are they better and it's not so bad?
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, you know, when I started all those many, many, many years ago, this was the day of the Mary Quant work, where everything was very straight and we had like the 5-point haircuts, very geometric. And literally, people would put their hair on the ironing board and iron the hair straight. Well, that's no different from these straightening irons, except it's portable. Absolutely no different at all. And I hate them. I never ever use them. If the hair wants to wave, I'll do a hairstyle within that wave. So like your hair, it's fabulous curly hair. It's great. And it's you. And it's your persona. And that's how it should be. You know, and then, so if you work on, for example, people with hair loss, I see people, when they've lost hair or their hair is thinning, they go into a depression. I mean, literally a medical depression. Some people will not leave the house. Some people will cower in the corner of a room. And some people...
No, I can relate,
Yeah.
really. When I was pregnant with
Absolutely.
Ashley, with my first,
Yeah.
with my daughter, my dear friend Anna Marie, who's a hairdresser, decided
Yeah.
to give me a new look.
Yeah.
And she basically cut my hair to nothing.
Oh.
I didn't leave the house.
No.
It was completely, I felt just like Samson.
Correct.
had his hair cut off, and it was
Absolutely.
suddenly
It's outrageous.
it was just weird. It was just a horrible feeling.
It's absolutely outrageous. And the other problem as well with, I would say 90% of hairdressers around the world, we used to joke about the company called Steiner's who are on all the ships, all the cruise ships. And you go into their hairdresser, into their salon. I mean, even today, they've got a style number on each picture on the wall. Style 137. Oh, I'll put that on you. They're not looking at the client. They're not looking at the bone structure. They're not looking at the smile or not smile of the client. They're not looking at how the client dresses, the colouring of their skin. All these things create. But you know, about 4 years ago, I had an elderly client. She's about 73, 75. She loved dancing, absolutely loved it. But she then lost her hair, went from here to here. And we call that scarring alopecia. It's because the skin, for some reason, we don't know, goes keloid. So we call it scarring alopecia. But effectively, her hairline went way back here. Just like Beyonce, her hairline's gone way back here. So, and she stayed in, would not leave the house. If she went to go shopping to the supermarket, she wore a hat. Very depressed. I mean, really depressed lady. She would cry herself to sleep. So I created for her a hairpiece which sat here, matched her colour, her texture, her density of her growth of hair exactly. Now she goes dancing 3 times a week.
How do you do that? How do you fit it on? Is it like, how do you do something? If someone's got no hair till there, how do you put a piece on that it stays on?
If there
Does
is
it like
no
on and
hair,
off? Do you fix it in? How does it work?
No. If the person's got no hair, for example, a man, if he wears a hair system, we call it a hair system now, it's more politically correct until they think of another name. But anyway, a hair system, we attach it with either a special hypoallergenic glue or hypoallergenic tape, which means it'll stay on the head for about 4 weeks.
But you actually make these pieces yourself?
I make them myself, yeah.
So this is the difference, I think. You're not getting wire wool or whatever, it's actually you. How did you learn to do that? When did you learn to do that? Why did you learn to do that?
That's a great question. Okay, when I worked at Vidal Sassoon in Knightsbridge and Sloane Street, a lot of celebrities came in with just fashion wigs, you know, having a bad hair day, I'll put a wig on. They were fabulous, better than their own hair. And then many of these celebrities came in and said, hey, I need my hair, I need it redressing and this and that. I don't know why, but all my colleagues said, hey Simon, you know how to do it, and threw it at me. I said, I don't know. So you sort of blag it a little bit. But after about a year, I thought, hey, I'd like to know what's going on here. Because then I met people who had cancer, very sadly, or alopecia universalis, which means all bodily hair. And I wanted to learn, so I went to China. I went to China for a month or 2 to learn how to make wigs.
And that's what you do now, you teach as well. You travel all over the place.
Yeah, I've just come back from Germany just a few days ago, and I teach wig making, I teach hair replacement for men and some women who have lost all the hair, but mainly for men. And I teach the consultation of it. It's all very well knowing how to apply it, but you've got to be able to consult with the client, give them advice, correct the right type of system.
As you say, get the right style that suits them, the personality, the way they dress.
Yeah, and also the texture of hair. For example, for me, I'm Caucasian and of European origin, so I would try and find European hair, so that the idea is if you match up the texture with the density, with exact colorway, say let's say I had highlights and lowlights, I could match it up exactly. No one would ever know you're wearing a hair system.
So there's a
Impossible.
market for hair. You go there's a market that you go in your shops or suppliers.
Oh yeah, massive.
So what do people donate hair?
Well, they sell the hair. If you go to markets around the world, outside train stations, there are signs as well. Would you like to sell your hair for the local currency? And people grow it for about 4 years, so it comes down to their bottom and past the bottom, and sell the hair. Absolutely.
So every time people are cutting their hair and just throwing it away, you could be making money
You could be
helping
making-
somebody.
But interestingly enough, a few years ago, I had a lovely young lady. At 15, she had a cancer of the womb. 15. She had to wear a wig. She lost all her hair. She came back to me. She found me. Came with her mum in England, and she was getting married. Bless her, but it had all come back. So she was going to have more chemo. So she asked me, could I shave her hair off before she has treatment and use the wig for her wig? Use the hair for her wig. And it was an emotional thing. So I explained to her I could only use about 20% of the total wig, because when we cut a pony here, hair regenerates. So the amount of hair in that pony would only be enough of 20% for the length. But it didn't matter. It didn't matter. When I gave her that wig fully made, where I matched up all the other hair with the texture and the colour and everything, and the origin of the country, she had this emotional feeling that it was hers, it was on her, it was part of her. And then, bless her, she got married. And then she still sends me photographs to this
But
day.
it's such an important aspect. Our hair is everything, and having some friends that also sending them to you, because you don't realise that there are some simple solutions, and the way you fix them in, you can shower with them, wash with them. It's not like you've got to take it off every night and put it on the bedside table. And
4 or 6 weeks, then I remove it, shampoo it, give it a really deep hair mask, and reattach it. Marvellous. It's
so you
great.
can do everything, a normal lifestyle.
Swim, play sport, absolutely everything you ever want.
And is that the same for women? So you would fix in the piece
Exactly the same.
to their hair they have, and if they don't have, which normally women do, it's just
Then I can
thinner,
attach the scalp.
but you just attach it in.
Yeah. But I mean, there's another thing from an aesthetic point of view. Forget about health for a minute. Let's say a lady, it's just unlucky. It's more like from a mother and grandfather, but on the maternal
Does menopause
side.
affect it?
Menopause, very, very much the thing. And basically, the hair is thin and low density. So the hairdresser can work like a devil trying to get height in it. She'll go outside in a damp, gone, it's flat. So I can create a hair system which will blend and match her own hair 100%. And then when she styles her hair, she's got this beautiful shape.
Oh, so you don't have to necessarily not have hair or hair loss. Even if just you've got very fine hair.
Very fine hair, and you just want to be able to dress it nicely. Because you wear the most beautiful frock going out here in Marbella. Beautiful frock you've got on. But if your hair is not working, you don't feel dressed. And then the other thing is, two very quick things. I do, if a lady, for argument's sake, she's got hair to here only. She's wearing a low back dress to a cocktail party, one of many here, especially in the summer in Marbella. And I can create a ponytail, which I fix to her own hair. And then she's got a ponytail, she can plait it, she can make a beautiful chignon, and the hair will match her own hair exactly. Whereas you see a lot of ladies, which drives me nuts, they'll go to a shop here in Marbella where there's synthetic buns or chignons, and it's like a different colour and it's shiny, it looks ridiculous.
Well, you know the difference, and you know what's good. When you know, you know.
Oh God, yes.
When you know, you know. Simon, absolutely fabulous. But to finish off with quickly also, but you also go to people's houses and do their hair.
Absolutely, yeah.
People with loads of hair or normal
absolutely
hair.
Everything. I go to people's homes, I offer a full service of hairdressing, colour, all different types of hair extensions, and everything to do with hair loss.
Well, I have to say, I'm very happy with Simon. He came up to me one day at choir and said, I've got a vision for you. And I came out blonde, like this, and I'm very happy. Definitely having more fun.
Thank you very much for having me, Nicole.
My pleasure.
You're a great friend.
My absolute pleasure, Simon.
Oh, bless you.
Hey, hey.
Welcome to the Sister Restaurant.
Zero Heroes, welcome to Urban Chai.
Today's all about hair, as I mentioned earlier with Simon, my hairdresser, that my hair has also become like my logo here. I have so much of it and it's so curly that people can see in a room with everyone with straight hair and then they know it's me. Well, today is all about hair because, as promised, now joining us is Carlos Caballero of Inspira, which is a very big centre in Marbella, one we're talking about, dedicated to those who have hair loss and are looking for solutions. Carlos, so lovely to see you again.
Thank you very much.
Nice to catch up.
Yeah, nice to see you too.
Inspira is a place where we can go if we're losing our hair or if we've lost our hair. Before we were chatting with Simon, there's like a non-invasive way he makes hair pieces and wigs, which is really cool. But then this option, this alternative is also very appropriate for so many people that I think it's a great opportunity that today we just carry on talking about hair and how to resolve those issues for those who are lacking confidence, which I think is an important thing. Our hair is a very big deal.
It is a very, very big deal. Most people, just self-confidence depends a lot on your hair, ladies and also men. And we offer different types of treatments, okay, not necessarily the transplant. And that's a solution like PRP, platelets-rich plasma, mesotherapies. Those are.
Can you explain those a little bit?
Okay, mesotherapy is infiltrating your scalp. This compound it's our own formula. It's our own compound. We just made it from a number of years investigation, and we just infiltrate in your scalp vitamins, hyaluronic acid, collagen, anti-hair growth, anti-hair loss factors, and I mean it's.
So these are perhaps more indicated for people if they're beginning to lose their hair.
That's correct.
These are treatments you can do to stop that hair loss getting worse.
That's correct, as well as PRP, platelets-rich plasma. We call it active plasma.
What's that?
Because the way we process it, we take your blood, and we just process that. When we recover, and we make a concentration of your platelets from your own blood that they contain growing factors.
Oh, well.
So those growing factors, pathological growing factors from your own blood, we just infiltrate you in the scalp, and they help your hair growing. That hair becoming thin and losing health, somehow they just recover and they become more vigorous. And that's PRP. We also have low frequency laser therapy. That's a biostimulation to improve the vessels widen in the scalp, the circulation on the scalp, and that also helps. At the end of the day, if you don't resolve the problem, finally we have the transplant, the hair transplant.
And that is that painful? Is it invasive? Does it take a long time?
I mean, it takes around 6 hours. You just come at 8:30 in the morning, we prepare you, and we start with the removal of your hair from your donor area, that's the back of your head. And after that, we have a break, you have a lunch. All the time you're awake, just watching TV or whatever. And after that, we make the implantation. And around 4:35 p.m., you are back to your house with the transplanted hair. And we do a hair transplant as far as 4,000 grafts. That's that's a complete baldness resolution.
In one day?
In one day, 6 hours.
So it's not a go back.
No,
Because
no.
I actually had a friend in Madrid who did a hair transplant, dentist, and he suffered greatly from not having hair. And he did a transplant, but I know he had to go several times, but probably with the years going by, new technologies, and Inspira being such an inspiration to the industry.
Okay.
I mean, it's a whole new concept, the way you've put everything together in Inspira with all the different offers in one place.
That's right. We do have our own technology, our investigation department, We have 5 clinics in Spain, 2 clinics in Italy, 5 clinics in Portugal. We're in an expansion project in different countries in the world.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And well, I think nowadays 60,000 surgeries after 60,000 surgeries done successfully. I would say probably it's the largest, I'm quite sure it's the largest company in the world doing hair transplant. And I think that's a guarantee of what you're looking for a good result. That's what we do.
Wonderful. And I suppose people can call you, come along for a free consultation or a consultation to discuss. And how do you decide which treatment they need? You're a doctor yourself.
I am.
Which I think is nice that there's someone in charge there who actually is a medical professional.
Thank you.
What do you base it on? The situation of them? Or how do you decide which is the best treatment?
Every single patient just comes to our place and they have a free evaluation from a doctor. And it's completely free, and they go with a diagnosis. So they decide, and we make the proper proposal to every one of them. Some of them just need treatment, and we let them know, and some others need a transplant. And if they decide to, we just make an appointment for his next transplant. That's the way it works. In a couple of hours, we resolve. He decides whatever he wants to do.
Sounds like the transplant is actually the quickest, easiest way
to
resolve it. You go in, you get your hair put in, and does it stay there? The hair doesn't fall out again afterwards?
Yeah, it just I mean, you leave there with the complete reconstruction. So, of course, it's a tiny, short hair in males, because in ladies we do long hair transplant, so they don't need to trim or to shave the hair. And yes, in the very same day they resolve the problem. Males go home with if they decide to, with a trimmed hair, and after that they see the hair growing.
So it actually grows again?
It grows just the same way your natural native hair grows.
How can that be? How can you implant a hair and then get it to grow?
Because we remove from the donor area, and this is if you.
So you're actually taking the follicle and the everything out and putting it in so it grows somewhere else.
That's right. We just make a redistribution of the hair.
Wow, I had no idea of that.
Yeah, we remove from the back and the sides. If you realize, you never saw an old man completely bald that he didn't preserve these area here.
It's curious, yes, they do seem to have that ring area around the back.
That's right. Human species don't lose their hair, males and women, they don't lose their hair in here and in back. So we remove from there, those follicles are implanted in some other area where they need, on the top of the hair, reseeding, reconstruction of the forehead line, whatever. And after that it grows, just the same way it used to be back here.
It's amazing. I never caught on to that point that you're actually, I thought you were just like implanting a bit of false hair and then it's just there. I didn't realize you actually...
We remove and make a redistribution one by one of every single follicle.
My God.
Thousands of them.
How can you do that in a day?
In a day, in 6 hours.
The technology must be just well out there.
It is. We have a very advanced, we have our own devices, the Bold Hair Ultra Plus. It's a device that we designed. And it just guarantee the survival of the follicular unit, and it helps to remove with guarantees of survival, because it's a real challenge. It's
a delicate process.
It is a delicate process.
Did the Inspire exist before Ronaldo, or did he get on board at the beginning as a...
He was from the very beginning. He's the owner. I mean, he's one of the owners of the company. He's not just image. So he got involved in this because, well, it's a personal situation. Not with him, that as far as I know, he didn't do a transplant, but one of his family did, and he thought it would be a good thing to do and help people so far.
And it really does help people. It makes such a difference.
It helps a lot. Self-esteem changes and depends a lot on the hair, as you introduce, and people just feel more confident when they do resolve their baldness problem, males and women. And also we're doing this transgender
Yeah,
transformation.
what's this about? I saw that you sent a press release on that.
I would say we are the pioneers in Spain. I don't know if somebody else's does, but I specialize in doing transgender in between, although my colleagues...
Why is it different, transgender than normal?
Realize living...
Not that that's not normal. I'm not trying to say anything wrong there, but badly expressed.
Living in a body that you don't feel comfortable with, you have to go through your transformation. Many of them do.
My cousin in Canada is now Chelsea, but he wasn't before. I really appreciate that if you're in the wrong body, you're in the wrong body.
You are in the wrong body. It's exactly like that. And one of the main things to transform is the shape of your hair implantation. Because realize most of the males, we do have the M-shape implantation, and ladies do have the rounded forehead implantation. So the way to feminize female transgender, so chromosomically she used to be a male, right, is rounding his forehead, and for that we have to feel the recedence. So we have to make it rounded. In males, transgenders, they used to be ladies, we have to make the beard transplant, right? Because
you can do a beard transplant?
Yeah, we do.
My gosh, I'm learning so much today.
Yeah, so we do the beard transplant, and also we somehow simulate the male implantation to masculinize that face. And how do we do that? We just, the frontal peak, we make it a little bit more pronounced. So it seems like they have a little bit of recedence. So, and it's quite impressive because it has a high impact in their face. Feminization and masculinization of the face.
I'm blown away. I can't believe all the things I've learned from you today, Carlos. I'm going to have to see you more often. Very important matters that we're talking about. Hair, it is us. In my case, it's my logo. Everyone knows it's me, just buy the hair. But if you're having problems and you don't have the hair that you would like, there are solutions. We've talked about with Simon before, and now also with Carlos of Inspiria. Do contact, find out, ask questions, and like me, get an absolute education on what's out there. It's actually quite reassuring. It's inspiring to see that there is inspiring, that there are some options. Thank you so much, Carlos.
Thank you, Nicole.
And congratulations.
Nice to see you again.
Zero Heroes welcome to Gusto e Fantasia.
Sinergias Club is a fabulous networking group organized by Elena Olcina. She's an absolutely adorable young woman, and she's put together originally Sinergias Femeninas, feminine synergy, but so many men wanted to be a part of this dynamic group that is now the Sinergias Club. And from that club, joining us today is Lady Ardila, and she has a clothing business, and looking at her, obviously a successful one because she looks delightful. Lovely to meet you, encantada conocerte.
Gracias, un placer conocerte también.
Estás guapísima, you look fabulous. Are these clothes from what you sell? ¿Estas son la ropa que tú vendes?
Yes, este es mi diseño de unas grandes diseñadoras que ahora mismo en Marbella hemos abierto una boutique que se llama Bellas Santas, y es una boutique con unos diseños de grandes diseñadoras internacionales.
Well, she's opened up a boutique and it's called, ¿cómo se llama la boutique?
Bellas Santas.
Bellas Santas, beautiful saints. Very nice name.
Yes.
And she's got lots of different, that she feels, designers that she likes in this boutique. Entonces son diseñadores que a ti te gustan. ¿Y tú quién eres? Cuéntame un poco de ti, ¿de dónde vienes? ¿Quién eres? ¿Cuánto tiempo llevas en Marbella?
Sí, bueno, yo soy Lady, tengo 23 años aquí en España, soy de Colombia, gran país y hermoso país.
Well, Lady is from Colombia and she's been in Spain for 23 years. No puedes tener edad de estar aquí tanto tiempo. Did you come with your family?
My family, familia está
¿Has
en Colombia.
venido con tu familia
Sí,
aquí a
he
España?
venido con parte de mi familia, pero también está allí otra parte de mi familia.
Do you
Sí.
go backwards and forwards? ¿Viajas entre Colombia y Marbella a menudo?
Yes.
You go back often?
Sí, suelo viajar desde que se pueda, claro.
And do you bring the designers in from Colombia? ¿Los diseñadores son de Colombia?
Sí, tenemos 3 diseñadoras que su nombre es Santísima Ropa Íntima, la segunda es Picanela y la tercera es Kei Couture. 3 diseñadoras hermosas con unos diseños espectaculares.
Well, she's got 3 special designers from Colombia and each one with their collection. ¿Y dónde está la boutique?
Bueno, nuestra boutique que hemos abierto el día 1 de marzo fue una
Enhorabuena.
Gracias.
She just opened the boutique on the 1st of March.
Yes, thank you. Y está situada aquí en la calle Gómez de la Serna número 8, aquí cerca de la rotonda Pirulí.
So it's very central in Gómez de la Serna, so it's a very central address. Es un buen sitio para boutiques. That's a good area for a boutique.
Sí, fue una zona donde yo estuve mirando mucho tiempo porque llevo con mi proyecto 3 años trabajando, vendiendo por redes y hasta que por fin encontré el sitio adecuado, sí.
Oh, how cool is that? So actually, Lady Ardila has been working on this project for 3 years and selling online, looking for the ideal place to open her boutique, and she's now found it in Gómez de la Serna, which is wonderful. So the horarios como normal, timetables of opening Monday
Sí.
from 10 till 2,
10
10 a 2,
de
and then
10.
5 till 8, 5 a 8.
No, estaremos abiertos todo el día.
Ah, okay, you're not
De
closing
10
at lunchtime.
Yes.
Okay,
de
that's
10
a nice thing.
a 21 horas. Sí.
Okay, so from 10 in the morning till 9 at night, and I like it that Lady Ardila isn't closing at lunchtime, because a lot of us only get chance to go shopping at lunchtime. Mucha gente solo podemos ir a comprar en la hora de comer.
Exactamente, con ese propósito lo hacemos, estaremos de lunes a sábado y por eso hago este horario, porque a veces no nos da tiempo, somos mujeres que trabajamos, que no tenemos tiempo, los hijos, el trabajo, la familia, pues damos este momento para que lo puedan hacer.
Wonderful, and she's saying that the reason that she's staying open all day is exactly for that reason, because she knows that we don't all get a chance to go when we would like to. Tengo muchas ganas de ir a visitar tu tienda. I want to come and visit your shop.
Pues será un gran placer. Lo más importante también es que quiero que dar importancia de que es un showroom donde también hacemos la venta personalizada, que damos la venta a ti, por ejemplo, damos un horario y te damos esa atención que
Oh, you can book
entregamos.
an appointment. So if you would like to go and be advised and have your appointment there, that you can just be looked after and then try on clothes, you can also do that. Es un bonito detalle.
Sí, sí.
And you can also advise people, aconsejarles y guiarles.
Asesorarle, exactamente. ¿Por qué hago esto? Porque yo hace tiempo, en mi juventud, fui modelo también, estudié 3 años de modelo, me asesoré también y aprendí un poco el asesoramiento de imagen, y esto es lo que quiero hacer ahora.
Well, not surprisingly, Lady has been a model, and she did 3 years of studying how to be a model and was advised, and someone guided her, and through that she learned how then to apply that to other people. So I think that's a lovely added touch. Es un añadido súper bonito.
Gracias, gracias.
Pues I think the next step is that I should come and visit you at the shop and do a little recording. Creo que el siguiente paso es que tengo que venir a visitarte, hacer una pequeña grabación de la tienda,
Wow,
para que la
perfecto.
gente, so that everyone can actually see what you're up to. Estoy muy contenta para ti. I'm very happy for you, very proud of you. Muy bien.
Gracias,
Has it been a
gracias.
difficult experience? ¿Ha sido una experiencia dura llegando a este punto, o todo muy bonito por la ilusión?
Sí, fue bonito, ha sido bonito y hasta ahora pues sigue siendo bonito. La verdad, lo he hecho con mucho cariño, con muchas ganas, con mucha ilusión y también pues muy apoyada de gente que quiero, familia, amigas, amigos, y la verdad que muy agradecida.
That's wonderful. That's so lovely. She said everyone's been supporting her family, her friends, obviously the Synergies Club that now that Elena has sent Lady Ardila along so that we can know that this boutique exists. It's called again Bellas Santas.
Bellas Santas.
Bellas
sí.
Santas.
Así
Bellas
mismo.
Santas. And I will definitely have to go and check it out and report back to you. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for you. Thank you.
Hey, hey.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, team. Good afternoon. Here she comes.
So this is our reception. We have here exposed all our treatments that we're going to be selling and our supplements. And over there is our little waiting room if you want to have a look.
Yeah, sure.
Right back with you. So this is our little waiting room.
Very
Here you
good.
go. So then let's go over here. Well-being area. So there you go. This is gonna be a personal area where people are gonna be here and they're gonna be receiving either massage over here if you wanna have a look. And then we have 2 lockers. First locker with its own bathroom and then a bigger locker where someone it's okay. And then we have a bigger locker, so if someone doesn't want to get undressed and walk out, they can have their massage here straight away. Also a spa, which is also meant to be just for one person or at maximum 2 people if they're like a couple or if they're coming together. Here we have our hyperbaric camera, and people are going to be able to book like sessions on their own, or if they book the whole treatment, it's going to be included in the pack.
And TV to watch while you're in there.
Of course, because every session is around 1 hour, 1 hour and 50 minutes, so it's just so people get a little bit distracted while they're in there.
Very cool.
Let's go to the next one. All right, so this is another waiting room, but this is for people who are waiting between treatments. So they can just wait here while they'll be taken care of, and then they can just walk straight. They don't have to go around the clinic.
And that's where we were before.
Yes, that is.
Very well organised.
Yeah. And then gym, where people are going to have sessions. They're either going to have a personal trainer or they can come on their own, but mostly our ideal is that they have their personal trainer that teaches them and that helps them with whatever we have diagnosed that they need to reinforce. So that's what it is. So here we have one of our diagnosis rooms. We do have several machinery, like for example, Photo Finder. What it does is it takes pictures of your whole body, and then we can like make sure that all your like moles, or if you have like a little mark on your skin, we can make sure that it doesn't change sizes, or if it does, just to realize it as soon as possible and send you straight to a dermatologist. And then we also have an ultrasound, because we're going to be doing a lot of ultrasounds. And then here we are also going to do like physical exams. This is the medical consultation. Here we have the medical study room. All right, so the good thing is that when you come here, you'll be able to test your whole body in one go, and you won't have to keep going to this hospital and have this test done, and then going to another one and have that else. You just come here, we test everything, and then we know exactly what's happening with your body.
Fabulous. Thank you, doctor.
You're welcome.
¿Qué tal? ¡Y Pablo!
Estudié en Madrid, tuve 4 años, pero ya...
Such elegance!
Thank you.
Bueno. ¿Vale?
Buenas tardes, vamos a proceder ya.
Buenas tardes, good afternoon.
Patients like him were personalized medicine, adapted to all the also preventive and predictive medicine, so that by
De una clínica que, por otro lado, no solamente como alcaldesa, sino también como colega. Esa sinergia público-privada es absolutamente indispensable, que es además la idea que tenéis. Desde luego nos sentimos plenamente...
Welcome to Sunday.
So here customers are welcome to Restaurant Alameda in Oval Urban Hotel in Marbella.
Hi, I'm Monica.
Hi, I'm Paula.
We are sisters and we are here to talk to you because we are the founders of Family Support Group. This is a company that began many years ago when our mom died. It was something horrible for us because nobody can help us. And in this moment we decided that no one who faces a terrible illness can be in the same process like us.
So that was the reason that we created Family Support Group. And we bring you the doctors, caregivers, and nurses to your own house for help you.
Our mom wanted to be at home, and we had problems with the healthcare system in Spain because you must talk with a lot of doctors, you must try to investigate many things and many information, and we were absolutely alone.
We can bring you all the medical service to your house.
We want to be your family support group.
No one needs to pass away in a hospital or in a hospice. You can be in your own house with your family and with all the dignity and treatment that you need for your family. Call us. We are here for you.
Well, now that is it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me and Boy for another episode of Marbella Now. There's so much going on in our city and so many cool people. I'm just blown away with the things I hear every week. We live and we learn. It's lovely to have you with us. If you'd like to watch recordings of the programme, you can do so from the rtvmarbella.tv website or go to mine, nicoleking.es, with links to the programme, to my column Marbella Moments in the Euro Weekly News, also to our new programme Good Morning Spain. Check that one out. New episode every Monday at 10. Also remember, we've got our Zero Hero initiative, which came out of our United Nationalities of Marbella summits. Free soft drinks for the designated drivers to encourage safer driving, that we're not drinking and driving after all these events. It's a really cool initiative and a lot of lovely places have signed on, like the Casino, Hard Rock Hotel, the Harbour Restaurant in Marbella, Pasta and Fantasia, Urban Chai, Urban. I could go on forever. Just go to the website and check it out. Thank you again for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the programme and I look forward to seeing you again next week. In the meanwhile, be nice to yourselves and take care of each other. Bye for now.